So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we're taking a look at the MAZ 6422M. Now, not a very catchy name, but from the sort of first looks that I've had of this mod, very detailed. So let's get straight into the customization. So the truck is available from the MAN dealer. So I think if you make sure you go to one on mainland Europe, as the ones in the UK, I don't believe it appears because it's left-hand drive only. So just bear that in mind. Now cabins, we've only got this one to choose from, and that isn't a bad thing. I mean, if you just look at the detail on the cabin, these aero fins, like the aero piece at the top, all this at the back, it's really detailed, this mod. Chassis, again, only a 6x4, but just look at the details, all the cables, all of the components. It's just incredible. On the engines, we've got a few to choose from actually, starting off with a 240 horsepower engine, which is just calling out for a cheap truck heavy trailer video, with 883 newton meters, all the way up to what we got, 45 with 1686 newton meters. But interestingly, if you have a look at some of these, this 400 horsepower one has got 1875 newton meters. I'm not sure what that says, it's in Russian, but I'm guessing Euro 3 maybe, in Euro 2, Euro 4 engine. But yeah, very interesting range of engines. We can only have a 14-speed transmission, which isn't very good for me. Obviously, I'm using my H shifter, so I don't know if that's going to work very well. On the interior, it reminds me a lot of a car interior more than a truck interior. That wheel just doesn't fit on the truck. We got that key there, manual gearbox. The dials are very car-like. I mean, this one goes up to 3000 RPM, which I'm pretty sure we won't be able to get near. But yeah, it's such a weird cabin, but again, very detailed and high quality. Paint jobs, we've got loads of preset ones, but we've got custom metallic and then custom solid colour. That's all you need really. Then we get onto the options, the massive array of options available. Down here we've got some yellow lights at the bottom, which are pretty cool. We've then got a little bumper here, and then the lights fit in there perfectly. That's quite nice. You can change the colour of the grille here, so you got plastic, paint. It's not actually the exact same colour, it's sort of a darker version, so if you like go around like that, as you can see, slightly different shade of the colour that you've picked. And then you've also got chrome, which probably doesn't really suit the truck. What is that? Fairing. Oh, hang on. Okay, so you can either have that little dot of light, or you can have it just completely sort of whitewashed when you turn the lights on. That's a weird option. I was trying to work out what was going on there. What does that do? I'm not sure. We'll get around to it in a bit. Bull bars don't really suit this truck. Logo, you can remove it if you want. Weight saving and everything, I guess. You can make all that plastic. What I like about the plastic, it's got a really nice sort of rugged texture to it, like it's been used, which you don't really get in this game that often. Up here, you can't do anything with the mirrors, which is a bit of a shame. You got the flags. That is the... Oh, we'll get to that. That's on the inside. We'll get to that later. You've got the sun visor here. You can either have it plastic or paint. Again, the plastic has got that really cool texture to it. Some little fog light. Well, not fog lights. Little I don't know what you call them. Auxiliary lights there. You got the beacons. You can have one beacon or two beacon. £500 for a beacon seems a little bit expensive to me. Oh, that's a bit annoying. The plastic of that doesn't quite match this plastic of this. So that's sort of the odd one out. You can remove it if you want, if you're taking a non-box trailer. But that's something to note. Around there. That's on the inside. So let's move around. It does come with some pretty cool Russian looking tyres and wheels. which I like when mods do that. You got those two. And then you've also got these tyres. That they're more sort of road going tyres, and then you got off-road looking tyres, which are always pretty cool to have. And then the same around here as well, with the different styles, and then the different tread pattern. Round there's nothing round the back to choose, unless that's weird. When you come around here, all the dots disappear. So annoying when that happens. Right, they're the little wheel covers. I prefer them, to be honest. You got the spare wheel there. You can remove it if you want, but interestingly, you can't change the tyre on that, so it might sort of conflict if you go for this sort of type of tyre here, and then this doesn't match. So that's something to note. We have got, what's this? That's kind of weird. A little protection around the tank. Fuel tank. Apparently you can remove the fuel tank. I'm not sure where the other fuel tank is, unless it's this one here, or if that affects your range or anything. I'm not too sure, but yeah, just look at the detail on that. When you remove it. Got this cable going around, so cool. What else have we got? We've got, what's this? What on earth is that? If anyone knows what that is, please do let me know. That is pretty crazy. Wow, look at that. The detail on it. I've got no idea what it is, but the detail on it is insane. We've then got a fuel tank here. Wow, this is getting weird. So I'm guessing you can then put that fuel tank back. Okay. That's pretty unusual. Then got a fire extinguisher. It's crazy, this mod. But I think that's pretty much it for the outside. On the inside, we have got, apparently you can add a bull bar on the inside. You got the sat nav, which you'll need because there isn't a built-in one. You got the cabin accessory stuff. Got to put a bag on the seat if you want. Apparently you can put stuff on the dash. No idea how that isn't falling over. But there you go. We've then got all the cabin accessory stuff on there. Hang stuff on there if you want. You got the curtains. What's this? Oh, you can completely remove that if you want. So where does that hang from? So if you remove that, that just floats, which is pretty unusual. And then that's for the outside. So it's back here. CD player apparently. And then you can put stuff back there, but they clip into the bed, which is a bit annoying. No idea what that does. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for all the customization. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay then, so here we are, all fully configured. Now, I've gone for a sort of a beigey colour. The yellow headlights down there to match the yellow containers. Again, I've got no idea what they are, so if anyone knows, please do put it in the comments. I mean, just look at the detail on the chassis there. The fire extinguisher and everything. So cool. We've got a short little journey today, so we'll get going. But yeah, super weird in here. I mean, you can see all the, when I turned it on then, if I just turn that back off, look down here, watch everything move. It is so detailed, this mod. The light switch, look at that. I love how the dashboard illuminates like that. And you got the high beam. And turn it back off. We got all the info on there. Working clock in the middle, which is cool. You got the cruise control speed. Indicators, all the temps and everything on there. If we turn it on, I'll just go outside for a second. Sounds very sort of classic Russian sounding. Revs really slowly, look at that. Yeah, very cool mod. Now I went with the what was it now, the 240 horsepower engine with 833 newton meters of torque, which is pretty much nothing. Let me just turn the side lights on. And what I didn't notice is that when you go for that engine, you get a 5-speed transmission instead of the 14-speed one that I was showing you before. I was thinking then, what side of the road do I drive on? Right, I'm in Germany, so it's the right. But we've got this 11-ton tank on the back, which for a 240 horsepower engine is a fair struggle, to be honest. Oh, that isn't the cruise control speed, I was wrong. That's a digital speedo, which I find really useful. It's just trying to get used to when to change. That rev's really high, which is super weird. Or rev's high for a truck anyway. But yeah, it does feel like you're driving a car, or maybe a van. It's so weird, the dashboard layout and everything. Just trying to keep the momentum going because it's super hard to gain it in this. I think we only got up to about 20 miles an hour. Right, come on, change. Oh, I actually can't see the lights now, it was a mistake. I'm having to look at the reflections. Come on, let's get going. That's 5 miles an hour. $10 miles an hour. 15 into third. This is crazy. If we're in third gear already and it's doing 20 miles an hour, what's the top speed of this going to be? So I'm sure it's not going to be very high. The mirrors, I like the placement of them, but they're just too wide angle. You got no sort of depth, and I found it really hard to sort of hook up to that trailer, or this trailer, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, the cabin itself is really detailed. I mean, if you just look at that, this is SES quality, if not better, because SES don't really do the animations that often, not on this scale anyway, and it's just done really well. I like how the clock's working. Often with these mods you get sort of clocks and everything and they don't work. They usually just set to 12 and never change, but with this they do. Alright, we're doing 27 miles an hour. I don't think that guy's going to let me in. I'm just going to barge my way across. Right, it's not having fourth gear. You know what? This truck is struggling with 11-ton trailer. I don't know how we would end up doing a cheap truck heavy trailer video with it, because this is really struggling. Into fourth. It takes so long to change as well. It takes about a second, maybe a second and a half for it to select the gear, which is kind of unusual. The seats are pretty, I don't know, well sort of contoured and everything by the looks of it. Not too sure how firm they're going to be, but they look pretty good. I was just trying to see if that hazard switch was animated, but it isn't. Bit of a shame. Let's indicate left. Oh wow, I didn't see him. 44 miles an hour. I think we can get 50. I mean, my foot is being flat for the duration of this video, pretty much. My foot is still flat, nothing's happening. I think we need to get off. Come on. 45. Oh, we got another little downhill section here. Oh no, we got back down to 44. I'm going to go down into... No, it doesn't like 4th gear. Let's try 5th again. No, it's just not having it. I don't know what that little sort of cable is on my steering wheel. Is it like a microphone or something? Like hands-free? I'm not too sure. Yeah, it really doesn't like getting up to speed. I mean, we're stuck at 44. But doesn't it look good on the road? Look at that. The tyres as well. Those massive yellow tanks. Oh, 48, 49, 50, 51. I was about to say let's go into 6th, but we've only got 5 gears. What's the speed limit on here, by the way? Let's have a look. Ah, so speed limit's 50. We got up to the speed limit and we're braking it slightly. Oh no, it's going back down. The slightest of gradients in this just completely loses its speed, if I can get my words out. Now it does have cruise control. Not too sure if it would in real life. But you never know. Let's have a look through these displays a sec. So we got enough range for just over 1400 miles. Probably going to be closer to 1200 really, to be honest. And they're not going to be very quick miles, let's say. Look how much fuel we're burning, because my foot is still flat. If I took my foot off, we'd lose so much speed. But yeah, we're burning a lot of fuel. I do like the display actually. I'm pretty sure it won't be authentic, but it's very easy to read. It looks like it's from a Volvo, one of the new FHs. But yeah, it is pretty good the way they've arranged it in game. Yeah, I do recommend you give this truck a go. It is a lot of fun. You can equip it with a high power engine and probably a better gearbox, to be honest, and it'd be a lot more sort of suitable for this game. But it's just fun to get in these lower power trucks and really sort of push them, especially when you go for a heavier load. I'd say I don't think this would pull more than 30 tons. I think you'd really struggle over 30 tons, but this is 11 tons on the back and we're doing okay. I mean, we're pretty much at the speed limit. It just takes about a decade to get there. There we go. Might just a retarder work? No, it doesn't have a retarder. Oh, I can't remember what I mapped my engine brake to, so we're just gonna have to use normal brakes. It steers in pretty well, to be honest. If you're using a wheel, you might find the in-game wheel a bit weird because it doesn't match like your steering ratio properly. When you steer left, it does. But when you're steering right, it steers slow, like really slowly. I mean, I'm turning the wheel at the same rate now, left to right, but you can see how much quickly in-game steering wheel steers to the left, if you see what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain. Now, I don't like the parking brake, sort of like that. It's super hard to see, and you can't see it when you're sitting here. I mean, look at this, how slow it is to get up to speed. So funny. Into 3rd. Won't be a very good getaway truck. And 4th. It doesn't sound as sort of run down as some of the older Russian trucks, which really sound cool. I mean, something like the ones on spin tyres and stuff like that. I think this is more of a modern, well, modern in quotation marks, Russian truck. It is kind of cool though. Do the wiper modes work? Yeah, look at that. Got 3 wipers. So it's pretty much a DAF. Well, they're really quick. So you got that mode, and then, okay, so there's 3 wiper modes. The tone of the engine doesn't really change as well. I mean, when you get up to 3000, you wouldn't really think it. It isn't sort of screaming for you to change up or anything. It's kind of unusual. So if you want to download this mod, the link as ever will be in the mod spreadsheet. A lot of people have been saying in the comments, can I have the link to the mod? And I've been saying it's in the spreadsheet, and they said, where's the spreadsheet? And I said it's in the description, and then they're saying it's not in there. Then I have to explain. You need to click on the ETS2 tab. So yeah, do make sure you sort of read the mod spreadsheet. I've done it now for probably a year. I've written on there in big bold letters, make sure you click on the correct tab for the game to find the mods. So yeah, make sure you do that instead of just commenting. It just makes my life easier. Alright, we're turning in here. And that's a pretty difficult reverse. So I'm just going to turn around. I don't want to do it blindside. Turning circle is really good actually. Steering is so weird. You can't use the mirrors to reverse with this thing. There we go, and engine off. So if you enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.